Indulging in a delicious feast of seafood is one of Australia's most loved Christmas traditions, but a harrowing story of human enslavement is often unknowingly being served on the side.
Seafood's one of those areas that is a dangerous industry. Some people, a person I met who was put on a fishing boat because he had a debt had to pay off, he did not walk on land for 17 years.
Walk Free's Global Slavery Index has found that fish is one of the top 5 products imported into Australia, which is at risk of being sourced using modern slavery.
68% of people that the United Nations surveyed who had been enslaved on fishing boats said they saw a fellow fisher, as they call them, pushed overboard or killed in the open sea. So it's an area where there has been really rife practices of modern slavery.
Despite having a strong local market, approximately 2/3 of all seafood which is sold in Australia is imported from overseas, and primarily from China. A 4-year investigation on the use of forced labour in the Chinese government-backed fishing industry recently found that workers were coercively kept at sea for months at a time in appalling conditions, and that seafood processing facilities inside China are utilising Uyghur forced labour on a large scale. Global seafood companies are beginning to respond to the risks of forced labour in their supply chains, with some ending business with suppliers who've been publicly linked to modern slavery. The Australian government has also recently announced it will be introducing mandatory country of origin labelling on all seafood sold in hospitality venues to help consumers know where what they're eating comes from. However, further government action is needed.
America has a law in place, it's called the Uyghur Prevention Act, which actually stops products at the border.
Unlike the US, Australia doesn't have such a law, and various attempts by independent MPs and the Greens to introduce one have been blocked by both major parties.
So this ban would stop any products at the borders entering into Australia, which means that it won't hit our shelves and our shopping shelves, and it won't entice us to buy cheaper products that is made by forced labour. And that also puts the onus back onto the industries who make millions of dollars of profit on the backs of slave labour.
You can take action on this issue by using the template on the Be Slavery Free website to email your federal MP and ask them to support a ban on the import into Australia of products tainted with forced labour and modern slavery.